This episode of The Inspiration Show is so incredibly special. Today's inspiration has had such a profound impact on my life. Her story and her journey are truly the utmost inspiring, and I am so grateful for the opportunity to get to look up to her and watch her shine. The incredibly talented Juliette Ojeda is here, and she's sharing her incredible journey. She was a contestant on The Voice and has the voice of an absolute angel. And she went on to make her Broadway debut as a super swing in The Notebook on Broadway, covering multiple roles with such incredible talent and so much grace. She is truly an absolute star. Juliet, thank you so much for being here. I have so much love and admiration for you, and it's such an honor to have you.
Well, thank you. Sorry, the Wi-Fi went out a little bit, but thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be here, and you are so sweet and kind. I'm like, I just want to. We were yapping earlier, and I'm like, let's keep on yapping. Like, I want to be your friend in real life. So I'm like,
Oh, I
let's
love you so, so much.
let's begin. Let's begin.
So, when did you discover that you had a passion for singing and theater?
Um, Honestly, this is like a core memory of mine. I was in fourth grade, and we were auditioning for choir. I had just transferred schools from like and I went to different elementary schools. So I had just transferred schools. I was a new kid. I was like, okay, I want to try singing. So I remember practicing. Literally all we had to sing was Happy Birthday. So I remember practicing Happy Birthday, and we had to audition in front of everyone. And I start singing and I start breaking down because I messed up one note, and I was like, I care so much about this. It has to be perfect. Like, and my teacher was like, it's okay. Like, you sounded great, whatever. I didn't end up getting into choir, but then it made me want to work harder to get into choir the year after. And I ended up booking like the main role in the school show. Like, and I was like, I love this. Like, I'm like, okay, this was all worth it. Like, I don't know, being like a little 8-year old and being like, I have to work hard to be on the stage. It's always like been my calling. So I don't know. It's always, the passion's always been there.
You know, I have that exact same answer too. People are like, when did you fall in love with theater? I'm like, honestly, like this is so cringy, but like it was a calling. Like I literally felt that the stage was where I belonged.
It's so weird. And it's like, and honestly, like not even the stage, but just this world of like theater and performing. And it's like, because I've produced shows and I'm like, yeah, I love it. Sometimes sometimes I'm scared I love that even more. And I'm like, this is just being in this world of like, this is magical. The fact that I don't know, we can just like escape into another world, become other people, explore other people. And it's just always, that's always been something that before I even realized I wanted to be an actor that I loved doing. I just love communicating and talking to people. And so it's like the passion's just always been there because it's part of who I am. I don't know.
And that's one thing I didn't know about you. I kind of want to sidebar and pick your brain on that about producing because I recently just produced a show at Green Room 42 about like my life and my journey and like it was so much fun. Charlie was in it. It was awesome. It was so much fun. But yeah, so what was that like for you, like producing and getting to create theater?
So I've only ever worked on two projects, no, three projects where I've produced and directed. So I did Broadway Goes Bossa at Green Room 42. I am so proud and grateful, like, of how that came out. I had the best team ever, like musicians, singers. Um, Jordan Amir, who was great, music director, and he arranged a lot of the music as well. I'm so sorry. There's like sirens. I don't know if
It's New York City, baby.
I should wait for them. I'm like, um, I don't know if we should wait for them to pass or if you want me to keep talking.
No,
I'm
no, it's
like,
okay. You got it. You got it.
okay. So I did that, and it was just so much fun being like I worked on that process for like 2 years of just planning and perfecting and being like, I want this and I want that, and this is how I want this sound to like this song to sound like. And it was just such like a fun process seeing these ideas in my brain come to life. And I don't know, it's like I've always admired people, and I love one of my favorite I love reading. I'm always reading or listening to an audiobook, and I've always admired authors and writers who just like have that ability to like, oh, this was just in your brain. This was literally just an idea you had in your brain, and now you elaborated and put the work, and like here it is, your brain for the world to see. And so it was kind of like my first time that I felt like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing that. I'm like, this is an idea I had, and it's it's like now in real life. And so I don't know, that's where it's like that part of like producing, it's kind of, I don't know, I really loved it that it's this idea I had and then it's out there in the world. um and then I've done also, I assistant directed for Women on Fire, which in um college, which was it's a play of this woman who moves into a new home where there are old spirits of how am I trying to word this? There are spirits, it's been a while too. There are spirits of immigrants that were crossing the border to escape their life in Mexico and in South America and whatnot. And so it's like it's about like the spirits of these people who died in the heat, and this woman who is a first generation American that is completely just tries to erase all of her ethnic background. So I directed a play on that, and it was really cool to take like not directed, I assistant directed a play on that, and it was really cool to like work with my friend on just like what it means to us, how we can, put our like just put our ideas into other people and see how they interpret it and show it and storytell. It was really fun. And then this summer, I also worked for the first time with kids, like producing and directing my own original medley show thing. And that was also obviously completely different because it's with kids. And then it's just an original, completely original, like medley sort of thing. So that was kind of fun. I've just been like, yeah, that's been my producing directing journey as of now. But that's also the other reason I want to go back to school so that I can. I just read POTUS, which is about these six women in the have you read it?
Yes.
It's hilarious. I was like, I need to direct this. Like, I don't know, my brain is just like developing in this way that's like, I love acting and I love singing, but directing and producing is just like all like it's the background, the science, the math of it. I don't know. It's just it gets me more excited. I'm like, this is the work.
And you have to read, if you hadn't read it or seen it, you have to read John Proctor as a villain.
Oh my gosh. Is it still on Broadway?
No, it just closed. I had some amazing friends in it. And like you know me, I'm a musical girly, but
Yes.
I saw it and like I fell in love with plays. Like there is a world like post me before seeing John Proctor as a villain and then post me after seeing John Proctor as a villain. Like that show
I'm
changed.
literally writing it down. I'm ordering it right now.
You have to
Um,
read. Text me when you're done, you're gonna die. Like it's so good.
I I 100% will. I've been like, I was, there's also a world I completely understand that like moment of like before watching a play or like reading a play for the first time versus after. And it's like, whoa, like I feel like it just takes you as a musical theater. I feel like sometimes us musical theater girlies or people are just stuck in this like musical theater world, but it's like, that's just like the beginning of it. And it's just, or like, that's just a section of it. You know what I mean? Like you can get so much more deeper and so much more like once you start like I don't know, I feel like sometimes people don't read MT people don't go into like full plays and I'm like that's that's the good part too. Like I'm a sucker. I mean, I was in the Notebook, but I'm a sucker for play with music, which is I guess completely different than a musical, but
Yeah.
it's
Oh, it's so
I
good.
just love I love the ticky talky just talk. Just let's talk.
So, what inspired you to really become a performer, and who's been an inspiration of yours throughout your career?
um Okay, so two people come to mind when I think of big inspirations, Viola Davis and Meryl Streep. I love the girls. Um, they're just every piece of work that I've seen of theirs is just like breathtaking and shocking, whether it be a comedy, whether it be a drama. Rita Moreno is another one that I've always truly, truly been so inspired by, especially West Side Story is one of my favorite. It is my number one favorite musical. And watching her be Anita, Anita's not even a dream role of mine. So just that's how I know that she just inspires me as a person. She also is someone else who just got her PhD at like 90 something years old. Like goals. Like I want to be like that. So she inspires me a lot. But I remember the first time that I was like, this is my profession. I was like, this is what I have to do this for the rest of my life. I was 13 years old on a Royal Caribbean cruise watching Mamma Mia the musical. And it was the first time I watched a live musical. Um, and I just remember having these chills in my body and turning to my mom and being like, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. And then um I don't know, I ended up I from then on I just remember looking up auditions online. I looked at performing arts schools in my area. I've been auditioning for them, was auditioning for them since I don't know, like preparing for them for as long as I could remember, since before high school even came around. So yeah, I don't know. I've been inspired by that my whole life. I'm sorry, I feel like I forgot the question and I'm like rambling now.
Oh, you answered it perfectly. Oh, Mamma Mia. I love how it always comes back to Mamma Mia on a cruise ship.
Always,
So
because
good.
there's nothing like Mamma Mia on a cruise ship. Like it's just Mamma Mia, period. Like
Yes.
it's my
Yes.
comfort. Mamma Mia one, and like I know sometimes people are like Mamma Mia two, but Mamma Mia two eats. Mamma Mia two also
No.
eats. And Lily James, I'm sorry, but she ate. She ate in that, and
I love it. Oh.
yeah.
So, you've often shared how your family's journey from Cuba to Miami shaped who you are today. So, can you share a little bit about your family's journey and your personal journey as a first generation Cuban American and how it's influenced the dreams that you've pursued?
Yeah, of course. So I'm glad you asked me that. My parents, to tell you a little bit about my parents, I feel like this also always goes back to them. A lot of what I do goes back to them because their story needs to be shared. I want to go back to school so I can become a professional writer, so that I can become like a just to tell their story. And um the way it starts, the way I see it, the way I picture it in my mind is my dad. I'm going to start off with my dad. He was a pilot in the Soviet Union in the 80s for the Cold War. So for the other side, not, not the good side. And growing up, how my parents explained to me, growing up in a communist country, you're kind of brainwashed into just being like, okay, this is life as we know it. These are the only choices. You don't get to choose your career. Your career is chosen for you. So let's say me and you go to school together. We could be like, okay, we both want to become actors, but the government is like, well, no, we need to trade you need to become a doctor because we need to trade doctors in Venezuela for food. And then so you become a doctor, even though you wanted to become an actor, and I become, I don't know, an electrician because they need electrician, like, you know what I mean? So that's essentially how the government works over there. They pick and choose for you. So yes, education is free, but you're not choosing what you study. So my dad was chosen to become a pilot in the Soviet Union. They traded him. My mom became a doctor, even though she wanted to become an actress. She became a doctor in Cuba, a general doctor. And obviously, once you now belong to the government once you're, a pilot, a doctor. Um, and so once they both realized they didn't know each other, they realized that they wanted to have a better life. My dad, once he realized that he had already come back from what was the Soviet Union at the time, is now Ukraine. He had come back with his then wife, and my brother, my older brother. They came back to Cuba. They had that wife and him had like broken up. He got back together with like an old ex of his. Then they had another kid, which is my oldest brother, like right above me. There's five of us. Um, okay, and every time I explain this, I'm like, there's so much going on. so so yeah, my dad was like, I we need a better life. Like this is crazy. Like it's also the 90s, so there was the big food crisis in like they had just I believe that the US had just cut ties with Cuba because they were a communist country. And Russia was also like not sending supplies the way they said they would. So the food crisis was really, really bad. Like, and there's no news on it because it's like, it's just like if you could think of a fourth, like I know fourth world country isn't real, but like if you could think of a fourth world country, Cuba comes very close to that. Like it's just not well. So anyway, this is all happening. My dad decides to, with his now ex-wife, go to Central America. They cross the border. They end up getting to his aunt's house. This was in the year 2000. Um, and he, again, he was a pilot, but and it was his dream, but here it's a little harder to do that. So he was like, you know what, I just want a better life, and I just want a stable, normal life. And now he's a handyman who has his own like business in Impact Windows in South Florida. He also manages a lot of the buildings down there. So I'm like, he's still a pretty successful man, and still like my brother's a pilot now, so he still gets to fly with him. So it's like, you know, he lived his life, came here so that we could have a better life. Um, and it's just he's always been like, I lived my life to the fullest, and my dreams came true. So you do your thing. Like we'll have you here. Like we'll support you no matter what, which is always been very inspiring. Like no matter what, like they want me to have my own choices and make my own choices, and that sort of freedom from family, I feel like there's just no pressure to be anything specific. And so it's it's quite like beautiful, I think. So yeah, and then with my mom, she's also been very encouraging. She ended up leaving. She was a doctor in Cuba for about like for a few years. Left when she was 20. Sorry. She left when she was around like 29. She had a boyfriend at the time who had a double citizenship in Cuba and in Germany, so she ended up leaving with him. But it was not a very healthy relationship. So this is the crazy part. She ends up going to Spain, running away to Spain from him because all she needed was a double citizenship to leave Cuba, so she could legally get to Europe. Um, Gets to Europe, runs away from him, goes to Spain because I think we have some aunts or something in Spain. I've never met them, but apparently we have family there. She goes to them. They end up making a fake passport for her so that she could come into the US. Um, because again, like just this is like risky, and I know this sounds like horrible that they're crossing borders and that they're like making legal passports, but it's like if you stay there, it's either you starve to death, or if you get caught, you're going to prison for life, or they're going to kill you. Like there's no in between, and that's the harsh reality. Like they come from a place where it's like, which is what's so scary about now. It's like we're seeing these patterns where it's like your own government is going against its own people. And it's like, sorry, not to get too political or anything, but it's like your own government is going against its own people. How are you guys not aware of what's going, like, how are you so blindsided by this? So those are the punishments if they get caught. So anyway, my mom ends up creating a fake passport, flying from Spain to the US. Um, During the plane, she's supposed to like cut up the evidence of the passport. She would kill me if she knew that I was talking about this on the internet right now. But she ends up cutting the fake passport, trying to cut the fake passport. The scissors break. She ends up eating the passport because it's like they can't see that she has a fake passport when she gets there. Like she's trying to get rid of all the evidence. Um, anyway, she lands, passport gone, passport ate. She lands, hides in the bathroom for a little bit, then calls my uncles. They come get her. Obviously, she goes through the whole immigration process. But during this time, there was the wet foot, dry foot policy, which I believe it was Clinton who had put this into place, where it's like because Cuba was such a horrible communist, like it's still bad, but it was a lot worse in the 90s. Um, because it was that bad, like again, the repercussions were either you are put in prison for life and starved to death, or you get killed. Um, Clinton had put into action a law that if you're Cuban, once you step onto land, you are safe and you can register for papers and a legal process, like do a legal, not illegal, but legal, a legal process for documentation and for your papers and whatnot. So anyway, that was their separate process. They met around 2 months after my dad got here. Oh wait, the crazy part is about this like boyfriend that my mom had. He ended up finding her when they got back to the US. Is that crazy? Crazy. Crazy. I know this needs to be like a whole telenovela. There's like a
I was
whole
just gonna say that. This
my
needs to be like a Jane the Virgin like
I
telenovela.
know. I this is why I'm like, I need to like every time I think about this, like I'm and I will ask my parents the same questions. It's like over and over again. Like I'm like, give me more detail. Like I need to know more. Like this. Okay. So yeah, so this man finds her, whatever. She ends up being like, get away from me. Finally, she's like, leave me alone. Leaves him. She ends up working at the airport. My mom ends up working at the airport for a while. And her friends from work are like, okay, like you've been single for a little bit. Let's go to a party. So mom's like, no, no, my mom's not a party person. Like she's very much a homebody. But she ends up going to this party where she's like supposed to be set up with this guy with my dad's best friend, but then my mom sees my dad and she's like, oh my gosh. And then literally my dad had also just been in the country for only 2 months. And my mom like knew that he had two children already and that my mom didn't have us yet. She was just like, this guy, there's just something about this guy. And she ends up, my dad didn't have a phone or anything, but she ends up buying him like a flip phone after like 2 weeks of knowing him. So, and she's like, now you don't have an excuse to not call me. And then 2 months later, they moved in together. And then a year later, they had me. And now it's been 22 years and they are still together. And so I don't know. I think it's a cute little story. They're crazy, but I love them. And it's just like they've gone through the craziest shit, like sorry, the craziest things. And where it's like if they were caught, they would literally die. So like there's that. Then there's also like we live on a floating rock and it's like why can't I do what makes me happy? So it's like having their support with that ideology with like I don't know. I just I have their support to like follow my dreams and no pressure to like fail or succeed or I don't know. I'm grateful and I know a lot of people have that sort of support. So I'm really grateful for it. I'm really grateful that I have their story to also like write about because it's like y'all are crazy. Y'all are they're just like how do you even my life is so boring compared to theirs. I'm like it's crazy.
But it's incredible to hear about how their story has inspired you to go through what you want to do and to follow those dreams. And it's so amazing to have that support because support is truly the root of this industry.
It is. It really, really is because it can get so, so, so draining. I mean, like it's just to be so honest, like it's been kind of dry with auditions right now. And it's like it's draining when you are having so many auditions and then you're like, okay, call back, and you're like, yay, woo. But also that it's like you're preparing for all these things and you're exhausted. And it's like, okay, well, I'm putting in all this work to maybe get a job. And then it's like you're complaining, but then it's like it's like a dry season and you're like, okay, wait, now I'm like drained from not having auditions because I'm like, I'm stressed out, because it's like, am I gonna get something? Am I not gonna get something? So it's just draining and to like have that support of being like, it's gonna be okay. To be like, it's okay you had that you chose an unstable career because life is just unstable. It's like, okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Uh,
You
So
gotta
we
go with the flow.
yeah, we touched on it a little bit, but could you take us back to the first time you experienced musical theater and how you were feeling at the time?
Yeah. So again, I was sorry. Again, I was 13 on a Royal Caribbean cruise, Allure of the Seas. And it was just like I don't even remember the specific actors. I just remember how I was feeling, and it was like, do you ever listen to like music and it's just you get these chills in your body? That's like
Of course.
that's
Yes.
just like I don't know how to explain it other than like I just got so emotional. And it was like when you it was literally love at first sight. Like it was love at first sight, and I was just like, this is it. Like I don't know how else to explain it other than like, this is it. This is it. Like I want to do this. I want to do what they're doing. And it's just and then I just did it. Like there's never really been another option. Like even on moments where I'm like, why did I choose this career? Why did I like, we all get frustrated. Being an actor isn't easy. It's a very hard and challenging and competitive career. But I don't see myself doing anything else other than like being in this industry because it's the moment I first saw a production, I was like, this is it. This is it. My grandmother has like stories of me being like sitting like super close to the TV watching the like showgirls dancing. Cause I'm like, I want to do this. Like, and it's I don't know, I can't remember the specific thoughts I was having, but I just know that feeling of like, it's this. And I feel so ridiculous explaining it that way, but it's the only way I can phrase it. I just knew it's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Oh, that's incredible. It's exactly what it is. So,
Yeah.
you attended Boston Conservatory at Berkeley, and then halfway into your college career, you took a gap year to be on The Voice season 24. So, can you share a little bit about your journey on The Voice and how this opportunity came to be?
Yes, of course. So, I was originally supposed to be on the season before that with I think Camila Cabello. Um, and um, I had been originally I had been auditioning for The Voice since I was 16, like going to open calls. So casting was already kind of familiar with me. But then once I started my whole TikTok ordeal and I started posting a lot more, this girl reached out to me one day and she was like, my aunt is the casting director of The Voice, and I really want you to meet with her. Like, I think you should be on the show. So we called, we chatted. She was like, I'd love for you to be on the show. Like, she saw some videos of me. And then again, like, I was supposed to be on that season, but then got moved over. Something didn't work out with school. It was because I didn't like, I didn't want to leave school just to be on The Voice. So I was like, okay, let's just go on next season because they were like, next season's gonna film in the summer. So I kind of had forgotten about that after like a year, but then they reached out to me. Um, Let me go back. So I'd forgotten about that for like a year because the year had gone by. I had applied to be an RA at school. So I was like, okay, I have housing. I'm so focused on school. I had just finished assistant directing that play and I wanted to do more on that. Um, and then I get like a phone call and it was like, hey, so are you still interested? Like, we'd love to have you on the season, like, da 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 da. And I was like, oh, this is legit. So then just like we started having meetings. And then like by the end of that week, I was like, oh, okay, like I'm flying out to LA. Um, so my sophomore year ended. I was packing all of my things from Boston, literally just to go to Miami for a day to drop off some of my things and then go to LA. um that process was wonderful. Like I like can't complain. They had us in a hotel where I slept, I sunbathed, and I played music. Like what a life. Like literally got paid to just like relax and sing. And I feel like I discovered a lot about myself as a singer and not just an MT performer or just an actor. I was watching a TikTok this morning or last night about someone saying that musical theater actors tend to stay in the same like vocal sort of style instead of expanding. And I didn't I'm glad I went through that experience in The Voice because it's like I discovered my voice a little bit more, being like, oh, I don't have to use this sort of style for everything that I do. Like I can add more breath here, I can add more this, I can, and so I discovered a little bit more of what I like to do artistically, like stylistically. Um, so yeah, that process it was wonderful. It was just a lot of rehearsals, a lot of sunbathing, a lot of pool time. It was great. Like I can't complain. And being on set that young, I think I was 19, no, 20 at the time, 19 or 20. And it was just so surreal. And to receive advice and feedback from people like John Legend and Gwen Stefani and Niall Horn and Reba McEntire is like crazy, just crazy. And I learned a lot. It was great.
And that's so crazy because Reba McEntire came to see The Notebook.
Yes, she did. Yes,
Yeah.
she did. And I didn't know. No one had told me. And so I had left early that day. And I was like, girl,
Because I remember Carson doing all the pictures with her, and I remember just dying.
I literally would have been like, she literally would remember me. Like I love her. She's so funny. She's literally like, I don't know if I want this is just like from me to you. I mean, I don't know. You decide if you want to keep this in, but she's just like one of those like old white ladies who's she's she just says stuff that's like you can't really say that anymore, but it's like it's not ill-intended. Like it's just like she's just an old white lady who like like she's just great. I love her so much.
Oh my gosh, I love her. So you sang an original salsa arrangement of
Yes.
Hopelessly Devoted to You. So can you share why you selected that song and the arrangement and its personal meaning to you?
Yes. So, Hopelessly Devoted to You, that I'll tell you how that came to be. So, I don't know if you're familiar with Adam Dorfman. He and I went to school together. Well, he went to Berkeley, I went to Boco, but we lived like right across the street from each other. We had been TikTok mutuals and friends for a while since like 2020. Um, and we were just on TikTok live together one day, and I had a video from Hopelessly Devoted to You that where I translated the lyrics that had like blown up a little bit. And I was like, okay, so we were on TikTok live, and we were just like playing around, and I was like, what if we do this into a salsa arrangement? And then he was like, OMG, that'd be cool. But then he got a project where he had to change the arrangement of a song to another one, so he chose Hopelessly Devoted to You. And it was just insane. I sent him a Spotify playlist being like, these are like Cuban salsa songs. And he just took that and went with it. And it was crazy. Like for his project, he used all Hispanic people too. Like Adam is like a white Jewish man. I love him so much. He is so funny, so talented. He's actually was the assistant music director for the Outsiders, and now he's the music director for the
Yes.
national tour of the Outsiders.
Yes.
He is amazing and so incredibly talented and so incredibly kind. Like the best way I can describe him is like we don't talk every day, but I know that if I was stranded at like 1 a.m. and no one else was answering the phone, I know I could call him and be like, I'm in the middle of blah, blah, blah. And he'd be like, okay, I'll go get you. Like, he's just so sweet. Like, anyway, so he ended up making that arrangement, and then that was like my freshman year of college. Again, the voice was after sophomore year, so I ended up reaching out to him and being like, hey, can I use your arrangement? Like, I think this would be really cool, especially to tell my story on how my parents inspired me, my culture. It combines my love for musical theater. Um and again, it's also like I kind of felt cool that like I translated those lyrics and they're doing well. I'm like, okay. So yeah, it was kind of all of that. Just it just all fell perfectly into place. And yeah, that's kind of how like that arrangement came to be. It was a lot of Adam in it. But yeah.
That's amazing. It was so, so, so beautiful. I loved
Thank
it.
you.
So you made it all the way to the battles round on Team Gwen. So why did you select Gwen Stefani as your coach, and what was your experience like in rehearsals preparing for the battle rounds?
So I selected Gwen because I loved Gwen, love Gwen. Like her music has always inspired me. She's just like that girl, you know what I mean? Like she's just that girl. Um, and I was just the most familiar. Like I grew up with a lot of her music, and I was just really inspired by her and her style. And so she was the first one that turned around for me, and I was like, oh my God. Like I literally you could hear it in my voice, and I was like, I was like, what's going on? So I chose her because she's just like a baddie. So I was like, I need to learn from the baddest of the baddest. Um, um, so yeah, in rehearsal with her, it was very much like I remember I was going through a lot of imposter syndrome when I was in the show, and it was showing. And she was just like a lot of the advice she gave me was just like you already have such a wonderful voice. Like the only thing missing is your confidence. Like lock in. Like where she was like, where's that Latina fire? Give me what I saw upstage, like on that stage, give it to me in rehearsal. So it was a lot of that and being like, okay, you know what? I need to trust myself more. And so that was a lot of the advice she gave. Um, and she was awesome. Like she was wonderful. I can't complain. She literally looked like real life Barbie. Other than that, the girl, Kristen, she was wonderful. The girl I was battling with, we spent a lot of our time together. We also found out we went on a grocery shop trip, like when we were in where we were staying. We went to a Target one day and we were like joking around, whatever. And I was like, okay, well, blah, blah, I'm a Scorpio. And she was like, wait, me too. And then we were like, when's your birthday? And I was like, November 9th. And she was like, my birthday is November 9th. And so then we just ended up like getting along so well. So we was just like, we're singing together again, like sunbathing, going to the pool, singing, watching TV, resting. Like it was super awesome. It was a great experience. And it was, although it's a competitive show, it never felt competitive. It felt more like we're all friends. We're all trying to support each other. And like it's all about just like presence and like what they're looking for. It's never, I never think it's anything personal. It's like every art is, how do you phrase it? Like art isn't the holder, like the beholder, the eye of the beholder. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great experience.
Oh, yay. That makes me so happy to hear. So, reflecting on your time with The Voice, what are some of your standout moments, and what is the biggest lesson you took away from your journey on the show?
My biggest standout moments, in regards to like just in general,
Yeah, just in general with your time.
live in the moment more. I think what I want to take, what I took away from that moment is just like live in the present moment more and enjoy like hard work doesn't need to look chaotic. Like it's peaceful too. It can be peaceful. And um yeah, it was just what else? Sorry, I'm like thinking too hard on this question.
No, you're good.
um yeah, I just took away that it's like I just need to trust myself more. Trust myself more. I'm like what I bring to the table is not what you're gonna bring to the table, what Kristen's gonna bring to the table, what Gwen's gonna bring to the table. You know what I mean? So I took that away. That's like I need to trust on my artistry more and myself more as an artist. Um, and I also took away that I can be a singer separated from being an actor. And that's something that I thought always went together. And it doesn't have to go together. It doesn't go together. Like not all the time. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I took away. Just like be hard work can be peaceful and to trust myself more.
Yeah. So you made your Broadway debut in the Notebook musical as a super swing covering Younger Allie, Georgie, and Sarah. So before getting cast in the show, were you at all familiar with the story of the Notebook and have any connection to it? And then why did you feel the need to be part of telling this story?
Yes, I did. So The Notebook is one of my favorite movies. Rachel McAdam is, I love her. Ryan Gosling in that movie is wonderful. Which is, you know, he has like brown contact lenses in that movie.
What?
Yeah.
I had no
I
idea.
yeah, watch the movie because they wanted to like the director wanted, also they were like, oh, they picked Ryan Gosling because they didn't think he was that attractive and they wanted
Yeah,
to make
that, yeah.
I was like, okay. But anyway, I love this. I know way too much about this movie. Um, but I again love the movie. Watched it after my first breakup in 10th grade. Watched it again after my like I watch it when there's a breakup, when there's no breakup, when there's I just want to cry, when I just want to watch a love story. It's just beautiful. Then after I got cast, before I could even tell anyone, I remember I bought the book, and I read it in under 3 hours, the entire book. I was sobbing. I well, first of all, I love to read. I'm a big reader, but it was so beautiful. And I think I love all the versions that are out because the book is more from Noah's perspective. We
Yeah.
see all of Noah's perspective. Then the movie, we see more of Allie, but it's still Noah's perspective. And it's like, it's him telling the story, obviously through the journal and whatnot. But then the musical, it's more of like Allie's choice, and we see more of Allie's inner thoughts and Allie's like she's choosing. We see her choosing between two lifestyles, not just two loves. And so it's so I love all the versions of it. I felt like I needed to be a part of the storytelling because it's a universal love story. And I love that the Broadway version, it's I feel like they did this right. Um what's it called when I'm forgetting what it's called right now. I'm like blanking. Um but I loved that they didn't cast people who all looked the same. You know what I mean? As
Yeah,
different
racially
versions.
blind casting.
Yes. Yeah, blind casting. So I feel like our show did that correctly
Yeah.
because a
Oh,
lot of the times I don't know, sometimes casting directors, but I think this version, we did it correctly. We did it perfectly. And we were getting so much like backlash and comments on like, why is this person looks like this and this person doesn't look like that? But then it's like you watch it. And my parents who don't even speak English very well were like, I understood the whole thing. I understood the whole thing because it's the storytelling is just that good that it's we can use our people and the people we use to say that it's a universal love story. It's a universal story no matter what, because it's a real story that people fall in love and they have a whole life together, and then one of them has dementia or Alzheimer's. And that's a real story. It's a real story of people breaking up and then finding each other years later, and it's just a beautiful story and it's wholesome and it's so cute. Um, and so I remember a lot of we got a few letters of people being like, these are my grandparents, and this is like the notebook is literally what happened to them, and they died on the same night. And like they have like seven grandchildren and da 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 da. And so I don't know, I had to join this because it's such a beautiful story. And I'm so grateful that this was my first my Broadway debut, that a show this beautiful was my Broadway debut with beautiful storytelling, but also beautiful music that's just like you can listen to on its own, which I love.
the music is, oh, it was perfect. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen on a stage ever. It's so perfect.
Did you watch it with Charlie in it?
I was so upset that I didn't get to see Chara do it. So I came out to do my own show at the Green Room 42, and I saw it the 2 days before our show, and then Charlie and I went out for lunch after, but I saw the original Broadway cast, which was beautiful. I got to see everyone. And then Charlie went on 4 days after I came back to Canada. So I was crushed about that.
Yeah.
But I have heard the audio bootlegs of him. What? Sorry, who said that? I have heard the audio bootlegs.
You mean
And
TikTok page by the salad?
that is exactly where those audio bootlegs come from. And I remember texting him after hearing those and be like, okay, I didn't see you do the whole show, but like you win. I'm broken. I'm broken.
No, he is wonderful. He's wonderful. He ate that role like
Yeah.
honestly like I love Benji and Anna, and I love that they were added and they're wonderful, but justice for Charlie. Justice for Charlie
So,
as younger Noah.
and then I only found out that he covered lawn like halfway through the run.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, when were you gonna tell me that you covered lawn?
So he covered younger Noah,
Johnny
Lon,
Finn and
Johnny
lawn.
Finn, and
Yeah.
Lon.
I
Yeah.
had
I
no idea.
also and I covered Sarah, Georgie, Allie, and Nurse Joanna. I covered one of the nurses. Like they had us like baby faces working real life jobs. Like I looked every time I went on as like Nurse Joanna, um, I felt like I was an intern. And then I would have like there's this one scene where it's like I don't say anything and I come out in a wheel like coming I come out with a wheelchair with older Allie, and it's Johnny. It's
Yeah.
Carson as Johnny. And then one night he like kept trying to make me laugh on stage,
Oh,
and
that's
like
so warranted.
So he would do this bit where he would like try to flirt, like say his line while flirting with me, like flirting with me as a character. And one day I just gave it back to him and I went, and I walked off stage and it was funny. It was funny. It broke him a little bit. It was funny.
I'm obsessed.
But I was the intern. I was the cute flirty intern.
Justice for cute flirty intern in the note.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. That should be like credited in the playbill. Oh my
No, literally, Juliette as the cute flirty intern.
God.
At her.
So could you share a little bit about your notebook journey from your audition process all the way to closing night?
Yeah, I would love to. It's so when I got the audition, I had just finished wrapping up for The Voice, but my episodes hadn't come out yet. So I had been home and I was like, okay, well, I can't go back to school because The Voice bled into school time. I don't have housing. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I guess I'll just stay home for like 6 months. My goal, my plan was stay home for like till the holidays, do some auditions, move to New York for 6 months, try to audition and work here. All else fails, go back to school. But I was like, okay. I ended up auditioning. I got the audition for the Notebook. It was like my third audition after leaving Voice. Um, I was like, I didn't even know they were doing a Notebook musical. I was like, this is epic. I sent it in right away. I'm not kidding. 2 days later, like a day later, my agent calls me and he's like, hey, so they're really interested in you. Like, I had been in a phase where I was like getting funky nails and like just wearing funky stuff. And he was like, don't get funky nails. Wear a sundress. This is what you're gonna wear to your audition. This is not. This is not. And my agent never cares. Like he never is like, he's never like, you know. But he was like, yeah, they're like really interested. Try to see if you can fly out to New York next week. You're getting a call back. I was like, okay. So I remember it was a Tuesday. My episode for Voice was my first episode for The Voice was coming out that same night as my audition. As my so my voice audition was coming out the same night as my notebook callback. So I had just gone in. I get to it was at the public. We were doing callbacks. I get in. It was like I want to say like a 45-minute process, like work session. Like we were just going in back and forth, working, da da da. And I was just so nervous. I have hyperhidrosis, which is like excessive sweating. And I was so nervous that I had like sweat dripping down my leg. Like I was like, oh my God, like Michael Greif is right there. Ingrid Michaelson is right there. Like they're watching me sing. They're like, I'm like, oh my God. But I was locked in, but I was also like, you know,
As it should be, yeah.
it was like one of those things. I was so locked in, but like I was like, I ended up I left and I got on the Uber back to my friend's house and I was like crying just from all the adrenaline. I was like, oh my God, that sucked. I remember getting on the plane the next day and being like journaling and being like, if it's meant for me, it'll be for me. Like I can't let these like anxious thoughts consume me and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make my Broadway debut when it's my time. I'm not kidding. I land home the next day. I'm on my way to the eye doctor appointment. And I missed my exit 3 times because my agent calls me being like, congratulations, you're going to make your Broadway debut. Like that all happened in the span of a week. I was like, after I literally was like freaking out because I was like, I can't go back to school. I'm living with my parents. I'm this and that. Like I was like freaking out. And that happens. I was like, what? So I'm like flipping out. That was in September. I found out January the process starts. So I ended up moving. I find a sublet in the city through some mutual friends of my dance group back at home. And I ended up moving with them, love them, made friends for life. So I lived with them for a little bit, start the rehearsal process in January of 2024. It's great. It's awesome. We move into the theater. Great. Awesome. I love it. And then yeah, like around it, we lasted, I feel like we had a good contract. Like I feel like a year is, obviously not the longest, but it's not too short either. And so it was a good year. A lot of just like hanging out and it's like it was a weird feeling not being around the cast anymore after, being a whole year together almost every single day. Um, but yeah, closing night was wonderful. Throwback to opening night, it was also wonderful. Like everyone and their mother was there. It was crazy. And then closing night was just so it was a lot more intimate, but it was wonderful and beautiful. And like we still text, like all of us still text in a group chat, and it's like we're still in touch. Um, it was just such a beautiful process. Like, I don't know, I'm very grateful for it. And I'm like, I feel like nothing's ever gonna compare to that again. I mean, in a good and in a bad way. So
So, what was your rehearsal process like for the show, having to learn multiple tracks?
so as someone who went on for as a swing for the first time ever, I was just trying to consume as much as possible. Also, I have ADHD, so it was like, whoa. But I learned I kept journals for separate for each character, and um, it was just a lot of like looking at the details you don't even think you would need to know, but just focusing on one character at a time. I was trying to do all at once, which is like a lot of swings go through this. It's like you try to grab the whole show just at once. Um, sorry, my computer's like about to die. Um, you grab, you try to like grab all of the roles at once, but I learned that you just take it one at a time. So it was just a very you have to be very very patient with yourself, especially as a swing, because it's like it's not what I realized. It's not about striving for learning these roles perfectly. It's about like obviously you'll get there, but it's being like, how can I keep the show going? My job is to keep the show going, no matter what. So yeah, it's a very patient. You have to be very patient with yourself, but also be very very attentive. Um, and yeah, it's a great skill to practice. It's a great skill. Yeah.
So, what challenges or surprises did you encounter while being a swing in the show? And then, how did you really make these characters your own?
Um, Challenges I found. What was the question again?
So, challenges and surprises about being a swing, and then how you made the characters your own.
Challenges and surprises. Challenges and surprises would be probably like going mid swing, like mid show to swing on. That was crazy. That was hectic. Very fun though. I love the adrenaline of being like, okay, and now it's me. Like, like it's like I get to keep the show going. So a few challenges that came with that was just being like where like if I was just a lot of the times I didn't go on as much as one would like I don't know, I didn't really go on that often, probably like twice or three times a month. So a lot of the times I just was into the routine of like going to say hi to my different cat, like the people backstage, like how's Mike doing? I love doing like going around the building and like checking in on hair, like how are you guys doing? What's wardrobe doing? Can I help with anything? Like I'm just like I don't sometimes I just don't want to be bored. Like there are days I am watching the show, but there are days where I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna like talk to coworkers I can't really see when I'm doing the show. Um, so challenges I found there is that I do love to yap. So there were times where it's like, okay, where's Juliette? It's like the show's going, like we need her, and I'm like, okay, I should just stay put in my place. But yeah, those are really the only challenges that I found, just like mid swinging, um, and surprises as well is just yeah, good surprises were always when there was like someone would bring cookies like mid show, or Carson's mom would like bring cookies, like make homemade cookies. That was a great surprise. Always a great surprise.
The who brought that? I'm remembering the mac and cheese schmackeries cookie. Who brought that?
Mac and cheese.
Yeah, it might have been Carson. I might be getting this wrong, but I remember somebody brought a mac and cheese schmackeries cookie. 'Cause I remember hearing about this, and I remember, oh, it was Jordan. Jordan brought them. I remember
Mac
hearing
and
about
cheese schmackery cookie, like it had mac and cheese on top.
it was like mac and cheese flavored. And I remember hearing about like the treats and like the bread that Hugh Jackman made that Happy
Oh my
brought.
god! Wait, actually, I have the Hugh Jackman sourdough.
Yes, I was
Oh my god!
literally talking to Chase about it when he was on the show.
I literally have it. I'm like now that I have like an actual kitchen, Allison, I'm like I wish I could give you an apartment tour right now. Like I'm like so happy with this apartment. I have like an actual kitchen now, and that where I can make my Hugh Jackman sourdough. Like
Oh my gosh. Okay, next time in the city, I have to come visit.
Please, please. I have to give you my phone number. I'm
Oh
like,
my
we
goodness.
need to grab coffee once. You're so cutie.
I love you so
Hang
much.
out.
Uh, I know some of them, but I want to hear more about your super swing stories during your time with the Notebook.
Okay. Super swing stories.
Because you had a mid-show swing on.
I did. I did have a mid-show swing on. But I feel like that only ever happened. Maybe it happened more than once, and I'm just like forgetting. The only time I remember is Hillary was like, "Oh, I'm gonna start the show," and it was on a Sarah. Like I went on for Sarah quite a bit. She was my favorite because I can just give her. There were nights I just gave her some spice, and other nights I was like, "Okay, whatever, go hang out with Noah, I guess." And then other nights I was like, "You're gonna hang out with him." Anyway, I love when you have like few lines. You can do so much. Um, but I remember Hillary started and it was like she did the first number and then we went on she literally our stage manager came up to the dressing room and was like, start getting in pin curls, Hillary doesn't feel well. And it was she did the first number, then there was like not it was right before Allie and Noah met. So I had been like, crap, do I get into costume for right after this scene? Because she had just gotten off the stage and then it was supposed to be me going up, but then she ended up finishing that scene. And then I just went on for the rest of the show. Um, but that's pretty much it, where it was like, are we like, is she gonna finish it? Is she feeling okay? Is she gonna throw up on stage? Is she like, and it's just, yeah, I wasn't as hectic. It was pretty chill, but it was still like, what's going on? Like, I have to go in the middle of the show. Where are we? Lock in. Yeah.
And then we, of course, have to talk about your time covering Young Allie, because that is such a beloved and iconic character. And I know the Notebook has been a huge part of your life. So, how did you really make that character your own?
um. Well, what I found really beautiful about this whole process is when I booked this, I wasn't dating anyone, nor did I want to. I very much like an independent girly. I had just gotten out of a serious relationship like a few months prior to that, and I was like, I want to focus on my career and me. And I already knew this love story like the back of my hand. But what was so beautiful about this process is that then I met my now partner and to fall in love and being like, I don't want anything unless it's something similar to this. And then it's literally watching it unfold in front of my eyes was just a different experience of like, this is real. Like again, that's why I needed to be a part of this. Like this is a real love story. And it's just like seeing I didn't get it when Shelly Williams, I love her. She was like, when you're meeting Noah for the first time, when Allie's meeting Noah, it's not just sexual, it's not just this boy's cute, it's not just this, it's like, I know you. I've known you. And it's like there's a sort of peace to that of like you meet your soulmate or whatever. And it's just I didn't get it and then I got it. And I was like, oh. So I don't know, through this process, it's playing Allie it's so beautiful because it's like, okay, I see myself and my partner in these characters, but also it's like, if I'm going on with John's giving me something different. That's like, how can I play with that? And then if I'm going on with Charlie's giving me something different because he's experiencing that his own way. And it's like, how can we blend those together? And how can, so finding myself in Allie was so beautiful in that way of like falling in love, but also being like, Allie is her own artist and she has choices to make. And so do I. And it's just like who is she? Who are these characters? How are we the same yet how are we so different? Um I don't know. And I just think Allie's such a wonderful girl. Like she's just she's just a people pleaser who is like, fuck it, we ball and chose a life of love. Yeah. And then that's kind of how I found, I don't know. I feel like Ali made me realize that to be the best artist I can be, I have to live life to the most truthful and meaningful to me. And so that's kind of what I took away from Ali. I love her. She's
Yeah.
wonderful. I love
Oh, she,
Ali. I miss Ali.
I miss the show so much. I'm so happy that it's out on tour and more people get to see it. I miss it so much.
No, and that cast, I've been keeping up with them on TikTok. They're so cute. And they are also amazing. They're crazy.
I know it was the biggest shocker of my life when they split the Johnny Finn track.
I know.
It was like,
Well,
oh my goodness.
the tea is, I don't know if I didn't sign any papers on this. But the tea is because Lori, the mom, is a principal track.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and Johnny Finn, they have the same parts. So Carson was like, if this is a principal track, I'm a principal track. So that's why they split it up for the national tour.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited for people to get to see it.
It's like a money thing. It's just so that, like,
Oh,
the producers are and
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Oh, was there a particular scene, song, and moment in the show that you always look forward to performing?
If this is love, like, not to sound like a basic B, but if this is
No,
love,
but it's
it's so good. Oh, if this is no, no, no. I'm lying. Okay, this is love is number two, but um, I want to go back.
yes. My best friend asked me if I would sing with her at a cabaret, and I said yes, but we are singing I Want to Go Back from the Notebook, and she learned the song and we sang it. Oh my God, it's my favorite.
I, I love that. You need to send me a video. Send me a video
Yeah.
ASAP.
I will. It's my favorite.
It's such a beautiful song, and then bro, watching Marianne Plunkett, I'm gonna cry. She watching her be like live because I don't know if you know her story. It's her mother had dementia and Alzheimer's, and she took care of her a lot. And to see, it's scary. It's scary. Like there were times when I went on for a Sarah and I interacted with her in that one scene, and it's like I literally because like my grandmother had a stroke and she forgot about my mom for a while. Like she thought me and my brother, who are her grandchildren, were her kids. And I don't know, it's just like seeing her forget my mom and then having Marianne look at me in that same way is like, whoa, like it's real. Again, this is a real story. And these people like it's just real. I don't know how to explain it other than it's real. We're acting, but it's real. And so yeah. What was the original question? I got too carried away with
Oh, oh no, no, you're so good. Favorite scene, song, and moment.
Oh, yeah. So I want to go back. It's just talking, I don't know, anything with Marianne Plunkett, anything with anyone in the cast. I
That
have
cast, the
the entire show
people,
is my favorite.
oh, the people in that show are just everything. Like one of the
Every
best casts.
I want you to know we all hung out like outside of the show too. Like we love each other. And I think we're gonna go watch Wicked for Good together again. Because we
Oh my
watched
God, yes.
part one together. All
Yes.
like the and not just cast, like cast, crew, wardrobe, hair,
Yes.
everyone. We all watched it together, and I'm hoping we're like talking again and watching Wicked for Good.
My heart. I'm so excited for it. Uh,
I'm so,
so, I
I
can't wait.
I'm manifesting it right now. I'm gonna play Glinda on Broadway one day. So like
Yes, I will be there front row center. I'm
play this clip when I book Glinda on Broadway. Play this clip. Play this clip.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Putting it in the universe. You're coming down on that bubble. Yes, it's in the universe. We have manifested it. Oh,
yeah.
it is there. So looking back on everything you have achieved in this industry, what advice would you give your younger self entering the industry?
Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. You're never going to regret taking more time for you. Like I don't and take that in however you want it to mean, but you're never going to regret taking more time for you. Um and I don't know, I love this quote that Lady Gaga said, your career is never going to wake up and decide it doesn't love you anymore. So give to your art, like the universe or God or whoever, whatever you believe in, gave you this gift of a talent to use. And it would just be a disservice to the universe or to God or to whoever to not use it. So just trust in yourself. Like that's what I wish someone would tell me and what I've just discovered along the way. And while I know it, sometimes I still have to remind myself of that. But yeah, that's kind of that's what I would say.
Yeah. Juliette, thank you so much for joining me on the Inspiration Show. I'm just in constant awe of you and your incredible journey, and you've had such a meaningful impact on my life and my theater journey, and it's just the greatest privilege to get to look up to you and watch you shine. Thank you for inspiring me.
Allison, you're gonna make me cry. Like, actually, you're so sweet. Thank you so much for having me. Like, genuinely, I'm gonna send you my phone number. Please, let's keep texting and talking. And I wish you the best of luck with college. Um, Wherever you decide to go. It's also you will make the difference. It's not the school, it's you. That's
Yes.
another piece of advice I just for everyone and everyone and their mommies. Um, yeah, I would thank you so much for having me. Like I don't know. I'm in awe of you